actually memorize. It's dedicated to my father. Jasmine Mans once quoted that, "Your poem doesn't start until you start telling the truth." But I've also heard that the truth hurts. So that must mean lying feels good. And I think that's why I lied for 18 years of my life. This one's for you, Dad. Growing up, I was obsessed. I dwelled on reasoning, answers, and fixations of a better understanding to why I thought I was different. And it always comes back to this. You see, I have a dad. Well, I had a dad. And he was a really heavy heroin user. Like, goddamn, he would come home from what he would call work. And now that I think of it, I never knew what he did at that time. All I know was it always drained him. It drained him enough to come home to whatever shelter, park bench, or cheap motel we were staying in at the moment and just treat us in ways unhealthy on a mental plane. And although he wasn't always there through the mind, spirit, and probably physically, now up to this day, I always looked forward in excitement when he'd grab his art supplies, which were your basic pens, cloths for blending, and whatever he can seem to scavenge up at the time. You see, he had some type of drive to draw upon the bodies of naked women on porno magazines, and at the time, I saw nothing but the beauty of this, how anything sexy, pretty, and oblivious to the epitome of ugly can be turned into something deranged, sickening, and twisted. Mornings I would wake up, knowing he already left, grab those magazines and head straight for the bathroom, taking in the art, the texture, the fine lines, and the timing that was put into this rhyme. You see, it wasn't until my mind let me wander to the rest of these pages that I'll stumble upon the back. And if you are familiar with any type of magazine literature, there are ads in the back. But these weren't just your normal ads. You see, they contained escorts, which at the time and still is just a professional way of saying classy prostitutes. And these didn't just contain women. They also had men. Full body pics front and back. You listening? And at the time, the only guy I saw naked besides me was my little brother in the tub because I had to get him up at the age of 8 when he was 3. So this was just all too intriguing for me. I had questions with no answers. I had a physical emptiness with nothing to fill it. But most of all, I didn't have a dad at the time to tell me I wasn't supposed to be looking at these things. Nonetheless, girls for that matter, especially at this age and time. So I continued to take these bathroom trips. Magazines that held answers to all my problems. I found myself even skipping my dad's art some days and just staring at these men, consciously waiting for when, pondering, maybe if I was one of them. You see, I know now that everything my dad came into close contact with, he'd hurt. Whether it be physically, sexually, mentally, I felt as if I was staring at dessert on a deserted island, drinking water tasted with dirt. I found myself staring up to this man when I should have been avoiding him. I found myself a sense of security and stability in the back of fucking porno magazines with these men because I thought you couldn't hurt them. I wanted them safe away from your abuse and torture. I came to find out that I blame you for what I am today. I find it easier knowing that I wasn't born like this, forcing myself to believe that I was accidentally gay, that I could have had a normal life with a father around telling me wrong from right. I wanted that father and son relationship when you catch me masturbating to women and not men. I just wanted you around more, Dad. Why the fuck couldn't you be around? I blame you for everything that's happened to me. I blame you for this dysfunctional family. I blame you for having more time on the streets than you did for me. But most of all, I blame me. You see, I spent 18 years of my life worrying about you, loving you, and thinking about you when I should have been worrying about me, loving me as a person and taking care of the rest of this family and not questioning the fact that my sexuality was intentionally placed upon your shoulders to carry. And I'm sorry for that. You see, I still love you. I always have and I always will, and it hurts to know that I still feel the same way after all this time. I love you, and I thank you for giving me an autistic ability to wake up knowing my work will give an understanding to another individual. You see, I'm a spoken word artist. I push pens for a damn living, and I'm proud of this callus. And God knows you need stories to tell. And for that, I thank you. And maybe even one day I can probably join you. And I'll bring those pens, the cloth for blending, and whatever I can seem to scavenge up at the time, so we can draw naked men and women upon these gates of heaven.